What's up, everybody? Destin Legary here with Alfredo Diaz. And today we're talking about the most recent patch to Destiny that gets rid of the loot cave.
R.I.P. loot cave.
Yeah, the loot cave is done, so let's start there. How do you feel about that?
I get it.
Yes.
I get it. I completely get it. That's an exploit, and they don't, I mean, honestly, like, I want, you know, all the engrams and stuff, but I understand they don't want the experience to be a bunch of people shooting into a dark hole.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
and that's what they say in their dev notes. If you read further on the website, they kind of explain why they made that decision.
Yep.
This is for all caves throughout the world of Destiny.
Yeah, there was like just different like farming spots like that. There was one on the moon that was really popular too, so they got rid of that.
Yeah, so we're both in agreement there. Next up is the Queen's Wrath. This is another update. When you play through this mission, you get a legendary helmet.
Yep,
or
this is true.
It's a helmet, right?
Well, I got a legendary vest for my hunter.
Okay. So you get
Chest.
Depending
you
on
legendary.
your class, you get a different legendary.
Yeah.
And the issue is now if you play it again with a friend who, say, hasn't played it, you should get a helmet, again, that you could dismantle for 3 Ascendant shards.
Yeah, and those are hard to get.
They're very, very hard to get. You can
Yeah.
get them in public events, sometimes maybe, and you can get them for doing strikes.
Raids too.
Strikes
have a
and
good
raids.
amount.
Well, the raid, the one raid.
The one raid. But I mean, like those
Which
are
is
very
incredibly difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are very important, right? Because you get to a point where in order to hit 30, you need to have legendary gear, and then you level that up with material, and then the material ends up being Ascendant shards that you need to level that up.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very difficult. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the fact that, you know, I keep getting the same legendary item. I get that, you know, that way I can't just super easily farm a legendary item. But to give me the same one and then like, I can't break it down into, you know, Ascendant shards.
I have no incentive to play this mission again. So I played it the one time.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I like playing with my friends. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll run it with you again. I need Ascendant shards for my weapons.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Now I have no reason to ever play that mission again.
Nope,
There's
not at
no
all.
incentive whatsoever.
Yeah.
My question to Bungie is like, what are you going to do to balance that out? You know, you've made it extremely difficult to upgrade not only your gear, but your weapons.
Yeah.
That needs to be balanced.
Yeah,
now,
this is true.
one thing in their dev notes that was also touched on was the weapons, while we're on the topic of weapons. Tell us about that.
So they did say that there's going to be a number of buffs and nerfs to just weapons in the incoming future. Like scout rifles, they felt like they weren't outputting enough damage.
Yeah.
So that's going to get a buff.
And these are for exotics. They want exotic and legendaries to feel powerful when you use them, right?
So I mean, scout rifles and exotics, those are going to get a buff because they just don't feel as powerful as they should be. Shotguns are going to get a nerf. Thank you. Thank you.
You agree with that one?
I completely agree with that.
See, I just got my first exotic shotgun, and it's actually less powerful than my legendary. But I haven't upgraded it yet.
But I mean, but just shotguns in general.
Because I can't get Ascendant material
Shotguns
to upgrade it.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
true.
Thanks, Bungie.
But I mean, like, yeah, no, it's just the range is way too effective, and you combine that with like a hunter's like long distance slide, and it turns into like a shotgun fest. Auto rifles, as much as I love my auto rifle, they're gonna buff. I mean, not gonna buff. They're gonna nerf it because it's just way too effective. Way too. The stability is too high at long range. I get that.
Yeah.
Like, right now, it's just like, well, if I'm not using a shotgun, then I definitely want to use an assault rifle. So yeah, it makes sense.
So I talked with Vince briefly. He's actually on the opposite side. Vince is the reviewer of Destiny. He felt that he actually kind of likes these changes about getting rid of the loot cave and making gear harder to upgrade. We had a bit of a disagreement about that.
I mean, I don't agree because I'm like 80 hours in and I still have so much more to grind for.
He likes the idea of taking a long time to upgrade your armor and weapons. I disagreed because now it will take me like a month because you can only get the Ascendant materials, this really hard to get material, by doing one daily. You get one daily where you can get it, or the raid.
Yep, which there's a lot of people, like you know, I have a lot of friends on Xbox Live and PSN, but a huge amount of those people are not ready for the raid.
And maybe in public events, but 2 times I've gotten into public events, never again.
Yep, exactly.
We're really unhappy about this.
I don't know, I kind of feel like if the legendary system, you know, the loot system for like legendary gear, it should be changed, right? I feel like if I like get a legendary engram and I go to decrypt it, it should be a legendary item.
Yes.
You know, okay, I get it. Maybe it's for a different character or something, but like it should be a legendary item. The fact that I've decrypted like 20 of them and
you not even
one was a legendary. Come on.
How do they fix it? Really quick.
Honestly, just kind of like Diablo, right? Where you just get you get a fair amount of legendary drops, but it's not always a better legendary item, you know, or it's not always for your character.
Yeah.
You know, that way you kind of feel like you're still gaining something. Yeah.
I feel like if they're going to take away any way to get Ascendant Shards, they need to replace it with another way to do that. Yeah, right now we have a daily and a raid, and maybe on public events. Public events, if you gold tier that, you should get those materials.
Yeah.
Right now you've made it impossible, and that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. It's a little too much of a grind right now.
That's our opinion. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below, and for more on Destiny, you're already in the right place. IGN.